There are things you can say to a woman that will completely change how she sees you, and not in a good way. Most men don't realize they're doing it. They think being honest, vulnerable, or transparent will make her trust them more. They believe if they just explain themselves, she'll understand. But here's the hard truth. Some things, once said, kill attraction instantly. You can't talk your way into respect, and you sure as hell can't talk your way into desire. Women are tuned into a man's energy, not just his words. And certain phrases, no matter how innocent they seem, scream weakness, insecurity, or emotional neediness. Once you cross that line, it's incredibly hard to come back. Now, this isn't about playing games or becoming silent. This is about self-respect. It's about knowing what to hold back. Not because you're hiding, but because you understand that not everything needs to be said. You've got to realize that women don't fall for men who pour everything out. They fall for men who are strong, composed, and in control of themselves. This guide isn't just about what not to say. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to say those things in the first place. You'll see exactly why certain comments make women pull away, and how to keep your masculine presence intact, even when emotions run high. You'll get real-world examples, things you've probably done or heard before, and once you see the damage they cause, you won't make those mistakes again. Let's get into it. You might be surprised how simple words can quietly destroy her attraction, and more importantly, how staying silent in key moments can make her feel you stronger than ever. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just finished section 5 in the course, and you won't find this information on videos on my channel. It's easy to access with a secure payment option. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life. 1. I don't know what I'd do without you. This sentence sounds romantic in movies. In real life, it sounds like you've built your identity around her. And nothing makes a woman more uncomfortable than feeling like she's become your emotional lifeline. Men who say this don't realize the silent message they're sending. Without you, I fall apart. That's not love. That's emotional dependence. And it's a responsibility no woman wants to carry. Even if she says she likes it at first, the longer it goes on, the more pressure she feels, and the more her attraction fades. Think of any strong, grounded male figure in your life or in media. Would James Bond say this? Would a coach like Phil Jackson tell his team, I don't know what I'd do without you guys? No. A man who knows himself doesn't lean on others for emotional survival. He shares life with others, yes, but he doesn't collapse into them. When you tell a woman she's the center of your world, you're not being sweet. You're showing her that your world is small. You're making her your purpose, and that's dangerous because it places your sense of worth in her hands. And here's what happens next. The balance shifts. She's no longer the one choosing you. You're chasing her validation. And over time, she begins to wonder, if he needs me this much, what does he actually offer me as a man? This doesn't mean you can't love deeply. It means your love should come from strength, not from fear of losing her. You have to be the kind of man who still knows exactly who he is, even if she walks away. That's the man she feels drawn to, the one who gives her space to choose him, not the one desperately clinging to her because he's scared of being alone. A woman wants to join a man on a mission. She doesn't want to become his mission. There's a massive difference. She's attracted to your confidence, your direction, and your ability to move through life with purpose. The moment she feels like she's become your oxygen, the attraction begins to suffocate. Not immediately, but it dies slowly, almost invisibly, until one day she's just not there emotionally anymore. And by then, most guys are too deep in their own neediness to see what caused the shift. The man who keeps a woman's desire long-term is never afraid to walk alone, not because he wants to, but because he can. That silent strength is what speaks the loudest. You don't have to tell her how much you need her. When you live in a way that shows you're whole on your own, that's when she respects you most. 2. I feel like you're out of my league. Most men say this, hoping to be cute or show humility. They think it'll make a woman feel special, like she's a rare prize. But what it really does is tell her you see yourself as less. That you've already placed her above you, and you're hoping she won't notice it. It's a subtle but devastating signal. One that tells her she has all the power, and you're just grateful to be noticed. When you speak like this, even casually, you're placing yourself in the position of a fan, not a man. You're saying, I don't believe I'm on your level, but I hope you'll still accept me. That doesn't spark desire. It triggers a sense of superiority in her. And the moment she feels above you, attraction dies. It's not something she always thinks about consciously. Sometimes she'll just start pulling back, being colder, saying she needs space. But underneath, it's because she's lost respect. And attraction can't live without respect. You'll see this mistake often in guys who finally get a chance with a beautiful woman they think is too good for them. They overcompliment, act nervous, or treat her like a celebrity. It's like watching a rookie in the NBA staring at LeBron instead of playing the damn game. He's not there to admire, he's there to compete. And a woman, deep down, wants a man who knows he belongs on the court, not one who's just happy to sit on the bench and watch. Women are not looking for a man who's amazed by them. They want a man who gets them but doesn't pedestal them. A man who can see her beauty and still maintain his center. A man who's not hypnotized by her appearance or her presence because he knows what he brings to the table. There's nothing wrong with being honest about how you feel, but there's a difference between appreciation and submission. You can tell a woman she's stunning without making it sound like you're underselling yourself. The key is tone, mindset, and how grounded you are when you say it. If you're complimenting her from a place of strength, because you choose to, not because you're begging for her favor, that's a different energy entirely. In the movie Creed, Adonis isn't fazed by the fame of others. He knows he's got something inside him, and even when he's not the champion yet, he carries himself like one. That's what women respond to. Not the man who tells them he's lucky to be there, but the man who acts like he belongs there, because he does. The moment you start talking like you're beneath her, you confirm her suspicion that maybe you are. That kills mystery. It kills masculinity. And once those are gone, so is the attraction. Never speak to a woman like you're her project or her fan. You're not trying to win her approval. You're standing beside her, not beneath her. 3. Please just tell me what you want. This one slips out when you're confused, frustrated, or trying to avoid conflict. Maybe she's pulling away. Maybe she's moody, hot and cold, and you don't know where you stand. So you say it. Just tell me what you want. It sounds reasonable. Honest. Like you're trying to fix things. But from her perspective, it comes off as weak. You're basically telling her, I'm lost. Lead me. Women don't want to lead. Not in a relationship with a man. They want to feel like you know what you're doing, like you can handle the moment, even if it's tense. When you ask her to define the structure, to give you the roadmap, what she hears is that you don't have one of your own, that you're passive, waiting to be told how to act, how to feel, how to show up. It might feel like you're being accommodating, but in reality, it puts her in the masculine role, and that kills her attraction to you. You're not supposed to guess her every thought, but you are supposed to bring direction, clarity, and steadiness, especially when she's not. Women will test you with silence, with mixed signals, with emotional swings. That's not manipulation. That's instinct. She wants to know if you're still rooted in yourself, when she's not rooted in anything. There's a difference between communication and surrender. Saying, let's talk about what's going on, is strength. Saying, please just tell me what to do, is submission. One makes her feel like she can relax into your leadership. The other makes her feel like she's dating someone who needs to be coached through his own relationship. Look at someone like Tony Stark from Iron Man. He doesn't beg for emotional clarity. He sets the tone. He brings certainty into uncertainty. Even when he doesn't have all the answers, he doesn't fold. That's what makes him magnetic. Not because he's always right, but because he carries himself like he can handle anything, even emotional storms. When you tell a woman to just tell you what she wants, you're giving away your power. You're saying, I don't trust myself to read this. I need you to run the show. It's draining for her. It makes her feel alone, even when you're right there. And slowly, she starts to feel like she's carrying the relationship while you trail behind. A strong man doesn't need to always be in control of her, but he's always in control of himself. If she's pulling back, you observe, you act with purpose, you lead the moment with calm confidence, you don't panic and put the weight on her shoulders, you figure it out or you walk, but you never beg her to guide you. The more you lead, the more she feels safe. The more you follow her emotional tides, the more she drifts away. 4. I've never felt this way about anyone before. This one seems harmless, even romantic. You say it thinking she'll feel special, chosen, elevated above every other woman you've been with. But in reality, what you're doing is placing her on a pedestal she never asked to be on. You're handing her all the emotional power in the room and subtly telling her, you control how I feel. You may not even realize you're doing it. It might come from a genuine place. But when a man says this early in a connection, it doesn't come across as deep. It comes across as unstable. What you're really telling her is that she has you wrapped around her finger, that your emotional balance depends on her presence. And even if she smiles or leans into it in the moment, something inside her quietly starts to recoil. Why? Because women want to feel emotionally pulled toward you, not emotionally responsible for you. In the early stages of attraction, mystery matters, emotional composure matters. And when you start gushing about feelings you've never had before, especially if it's too soon, it makes you seem like a man who falls fast because he's starved for connection, not because he's chosen wisely. There's a difference. A woman wants to feel like you've chosen her after truly seeing her, not because you're overwhelmed by the moment or because you're craving love and she's the first to give you attention. Look at a movie like The Dark Knight. Bruce Wayne feels deeply, but he doesn't go around telling Rachel every 5 minutes how he's never felt this way before. He shows it in how he moves, how he protects, how he stays composed under pressure. That's what women feel on a primal level. The strength of a man who can feel something powerful but not be overtaken by it. Telling her you've never felt this way before isn't the problem. How and when you say it is everything. If it comes after months of deep connection, mutual trust, and shared experiences, then it can land well. But if it's said too soon, before anything's been earned, before she's even fully invested, it sets off an inner alarm in her. She starts to wonder, why is he already disattached? What does he even know about me yet? It creates imbalance. One person is way more invested than the other. And even if she likes you, she starts to feel a pressure she didn't ask for. Suddenly, she's not enjoying the experience anymore. She's managing your emotions. That's never attractive. That's a job, not a relationship. A grounded man paces his emotions. He lets things build naturally. He's not in a rush to label every feeling or declare dramatic statements. He enjoys the connection, but doesn't drown in it. That's what creates tension, desire, and long-term pull, not emotional flooding disguised as romance. A woman doesn't want to be your fantasy. She wants to feel like she earned your admiration. Keep your emotional cards close until it's the right moment. That's when they matter most. 5. I can't live without you. This one sounds like the ultimate declaration of love. Movies, love songs, and romance novels have glorified it for decades. But in the real world, when a man tells a woman, I can't live without you, it doesn't land the way he thinks it will. It doesn't make her feel more loved. It makes her feel trapped. The weight of someone else's emotional survival being tied to her presence isn't romantic. It's pressure. And pressure doesn't lead to deeper connection, it leads to escape. When a man says this, what he's really showing is emotional instability. He's showing her that without her validation, affection, or approval, he crumbles. It doesn't matter how good his intentions are. A man who can't emotionally stand on his own is not a man she feels safe surrendering to. Attraction at its core is primal, and a woman cannot feel feminine and free in the presence of a man who leans on her like a life raft. Think of sports legends like Tom Brady. When he was winning Super Bowls, he wasn't saying to his teammates, "I can't do this without you." He was locked in, focused, present, appreciative, sure, but still self-contained. That's what makes a leader. That's what women look for, even if they can't explain it. The man who values her, but doesn't fall apart without her. This phrase, "I can't live without you," turns love into dependency. It takes the focus off of connection and puts it onto desperation. Women aren't drawn to a man who needs them to function. They're drawn to a man who chooses them, despite the fact that he could walk alone and still be whole. That's the difference between addiction and affection. One takes, the other shares. And make no mistake, when a woman hears this, even if she says "aw" in the moment, something inside her feels it. That shift from desire to duty, from play to pressure. She starts to question why your emotional life is in her hands. She starts to lose respect, even if she doesn't want to. And once that respect fades, attraction isn't far behind. You are supposed to bring strength into a relationship. You are supposed to be the emotional anchor, not the one getting pulled around by the tides. A woman wants to see that you can feel pain, sure, but she also wants to see that you can handle pain, that you can take a hit and not fall apart, that you can lose something, even someone, and still rebuild. Saying "I can't live without you" might feel like the ultimate compliment, but it's not. It's a confession that you've made her your source of stability. And no woman wants to carry that, ever. It makes her feel like she's dating a boy in a man's body, someone who hasn't yet learned how to stand on his own. Real love is this: I want you in my life, but I'll still be a man without you. That's the truth that creates respect, and the respect that keeps her attracted. 6. Tell me how to make you happy. On the surface, this line seems thoughtful. You want her to feel good, to feel seen, to know that you care. But here's the problem. When you ask a woman to tell you how to make her happy, you're exposing a very subtle but damaging truth. You're lost in the relationship. You're asking her to guide you. You've abandoned your leadership, and instead of acting from conviction, you're reacting out of fear. That fear of doing the wrong thing, that fear of losing her. A woman doesn't want a man who's terrified of her dissatisfaction. She wants a man who knows how to lead, how to read her energy, and how to make decisions without begging for a script. She wants to feel your strength, not coach it into existence. The moment you start asking, "What should I do?" or "Tell me what you need," you become more of a follower than a partner. Now, of course, communication matters. Of course, listening matters. But there's a difference between tuning into a woman and submitting to her emotional roller coaster. One earns respect. The other gets quietly resented. You may think you're being attentive, but to her, it feels like you don't trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, why should she? In the movie Gladiator, Maximus doesn't ask people how to lead. He doesn't beg others to tell him how to win their respect. He observes, he feels the moment, and then he acts. He carries his authority without noise. That's what resonates. And that's what many modern men are missing, not because they're weak, but because they were taught that serving a woman's happiness is the same as keeping her desire. But it's not. Desire doesn't come from being endlessly agreeable. It comes from being unshakable. When you're constantly checking in with her feelings, asking her what you need to do, you're making her the director of the relationship. You're outsourcing your masculine energy. And whether she says it or not, she starts to feel like she's dating someone who's trying not to mess up, not someone who's bringing her into his world. Think of it like a dance. In a powerful dance, the man leads. Not forcefully, not arrogantly, but confidently. He's tuned into his partner, but he doesn't freeze waiting for her instructions. He moves with intention, and she follows that energy. That's what builds polarity. the magnetism between masculine direction and feminine flow. When you ask her how to lead, you break that polarity. You become hesitant, unsure, and unattractive. If a woman is unhappy, you don't fix it by asking her what buttons to press. You fix it by being a man worth following. You check yourself. Are you grounded? Are you leading with purpose? Are you emotionally composed, or are you chasing comfort? The truth is this: women don't want to be your GPS. They want to be passengers in a car driven by a man who knows where he's going. Asking for directions constantly makes them wonder if you even deserve the keys. 7. I just want to make you my everything. It sounds poetic. It sounds passionate. But when a man tells a woman, I just want to make you my everything, what she hears, deep in her instincts, is that he has nothing else. No purpose bigger than her. No mission beyond her. No grounded life that she's stepping into. Just her, the center of his world, holding everything together. And for a short time, it might feel flattering, but eventually, it starts to feel like emotional suffocation. When a woman becomes your everything, she starts to feel responsible for everything. Your mood, your happiness, your sense of worth. And even if she loves you, that weight will wear her down. Because a man who gives his entire identity to a woman is not in love. He's lost. He's abandoned his path and put her in the place where his purpose should be. No woman wants that job. It feels sweet at first, but it quickly turns into pressure she never asked for. Look at the greats, athletes, warriors, creators. A man like Kobe Bryant didn't make any woman his everything. He loved, yes, he had deep bonds, but he had a mission that was his. He didn't get pulled off his path by love. He brought love into his path. That's what a masculine man does. He doesn't orbit around a woman. He stands still, centered, and lets her orbit with him. When a man says, "You're my everything," what he's really doing is handing her the keys to his emotional life. And here's the secret no one tells you. Once she realizes she's all you've got, she starts looking for a man who has more. Not more women, more life, more fire, more self-possession. Because that's what makes a man truly magnetic. When he has a full, rich life, and she gets to be a part of it, not the point of it. The danger of making a woman your everything is that you start molding yourself around her. You compromise your routines. You start canceling on your friends. You lose drive for your goals. You shrink your world to make her more comfortable. But here's what really happens. She falls for the man who had his own gravity and slowly watches that gravity disappear. That kills attraction more than any single phrase. A woman wants to feel like she's won a man who's not easy to possess. A man with standards, with ambition, with direction. If she feels like you've made her your North Star, she starts to question your strength. Not because she wants to be rejected, but because she wants to feel chosen by someone who didn't need to choose her. That's power. That's depth. That's what keeps desire alive. So don't make her your everything. Make her your partner in a life that's already full. When she feels like you could live without her, but choose to live with her, that's when she stays. That's when she respects you. That's when she desires you with her whole heart. The words you speak shape how a woman sees you, and more importantly, how she feels you. Say the wrong things, and you chip away at her attraction without even realizing it. But when you hold your frame, stay grounded in your purpose, and speak with clarity, you pull her in effortlessly. The key is never desperation, it's quiet strength. Never over-explain, never plead, never hand her your power. Be the man she chooses, not the man who tries to convince her. Respect is the foundation of desire. Protect it, and everything else follows. Say less, move with intention, lead. And remember, if you're serious about mastering the dating game, don't miss out on my exclusive online course. We go beyond what's covered in these videos, giving you powerful insights from the first approach to lasting attraction. It's easy to enroll with a secure payment option. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or simply click the link in the description to secure your spot. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now and start transforming your dating life today. I want to especially appreciate you for taking your time to watch till the end of this video. I hope the video helps you improve every aspect of your relationship with women. Until next time, this is Stoic Approach to Life.